Dr. Ryan Stanton is the director of the American Medical Response NASCAR Safety Team. Thank you for joining us this morning, Ryan.
Absolutely.
Now, Dr. Stanton, as a medical director, how is preparing for a street race different than a typical NASCAR course race?
Well, the biggest challenge for us is this is our only legitimate street course. We do road courses throughout the season, but this is the first one and the only one on our schedule that is actually on physical streets. So the logistics of working with one of the largest cities in the country, making sure that there's going to be disruptions, but as little disruptions as possible. So we're looking forward to be there. Of course, last year, Mother Nature really played an important role in it, but it looks fantastic for this weekend. So I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait to get up there and see the streets once again and some fantastic racing up there in Chicago.
Mentioning Mother Nature and its disruption, Sunday's temperatures could be in the 80s at the time of the race. What challenges does warmth bring for your drivers? And also last year, a little bit of that moisture. What does rain do for these road courses?
We can imagine cars going as fast as they possibly can on wet streets or wet track in general. It's just going to be potentially quite dangerous. We do have some in place, rain tires in place, but unfortunately, that can disrupt the race and the speed and the entertainment. But last year, the racing was fantastic. This year, the weather looks like it's going to be great. The challenge with a lot of these is the heat builds up. These cars don't have air conditioning because air conditioning doesn't help a car go faster. And so they don't have AC. So the inside of these cars runs 110, 120, up to 130 degrees. These drivers are in their Nomex and their fire suits and their helmets and their gloves. So they're almost dressed up for winter inside these vehicles. And so now they're exerting themselves for 2 to 3 or 4 hours. And so heat-related illness is a significant concern for any of our tracks, but especially road courses, because on road courses, we don't get that flow of air that we typically get with our ovals and round tracks just because of the speeds. And our pit crews are down there in the heat throughout the races, and the teams, a potential risk for heat exposure. So it really is about preparation before and then making sure we had the steps in place to protect them during the racing.
And talk about during the racing, protecting them. There's obviously crashes and other emergencies that can go on. How does your team prepare to quickly arrive for help along the entire length of this course?
Well, myself, I'll be in Chase 1. We have chase vehicles. We'll have 3 of them at the Chicago road course. We will respond quickly. Our goal is to be at the vehicle within about 15 to 20 seconds. We also have support from fire trucks and tool trucks that have local firefighters, paramedics that will be there to help respond as well. Our goal is to get to that driver's side as quickly as possible, assess the scene, get them out of potential dangerous ways, and then get them to safety and get them the care that they need. Also, we have assets on our pit roads as well to help with teams, especially like last weekend when we dealt with Nashville with heat indexes well over 100 degrees. Being there to help them, recognize them, and get them to sites or into the infield care center as necessary to get them support and the care that they're going to need.
And it's not just the infield or along the course track. You also have spectators, so I imagine you have to provide support for them should there be some sort of emergency.
Yeah, this weekend, the estimates that I'll be hanging out with about 50,000 of my best friends up in Chicago. So looking forward to that. Great concerts, full day events, not just the racing. But we do have teams on site, local teams of medical professionals, paramedics, firefighters, medical teams from University of Chicago that are going to be there to help support and take care of the fans. That's one of the key things about NASCAR. We work closely with the local assets, the medical teams, firefighters, paramedics, to provide the care and make the event happen. We have events that run from anywhere from 30, 40, 50,000 fans up to 250,000 fans. So making sure that we're ready to take care of them, because we want this to be a fun and entertaining day and do everything we can to be safe. But unfortunately, the challenges of life happen. So being ready and be prepared is one of the key things that we can do. And the teams I know that are up there, and I worked with them last year, they are ready for the challenge and looking forward to a fantastic weekend in Chicago.
Always a fun time. Well, Director of the American Medical Response NASCAR Safety Team, Dr. Ryan Stanton, thank you again for joining us here on AccuWeather Early.